Hello, guys. Today, I've decided every day until my Big Ben 10 video comes out, we're going to talk about something Ben 10 related every day. So, in other words, every day we're going to be talking about something that somehow involves the creators of Ben 10 Man of Action. And today, I'm going to share something with you all that I'm sure you would have never guessed. Man of Action created Big Hero 6. I bet you would have never guessed that. Not the Disney movie, the comic book, obviously. They created the comic book for Marvel, and then Disney turned it into a movie. And while they didn't really work on the movie at all, they're all like, yeah, we love it. So let's talk about Big Hero 6. So first off, the comic I was just talking about, I haven't read it because there's so many comic books to read, and like up until today, I kind of was falling out of Big Hero 6. I just I liked it a lot when it came out, but over time it just was like, But then, of course, I rewatched the movie today and I realized, oh my gosh, I forgot how good this is! Big Hero 6 is probably the best movie, like, from the studio Disney Animation. Like, I don't know their entire list of works, but I'm pretty sure like, that studio was first formed whenever Tangled came out. And so this is probably my favorite, like, Disney Animation Studio movie, whatever it's called. Like, where's the credit? Like, I don't know. I don't know anything about Disney. It's clearly, you know what? I'm going to just look it up right now while I'm recording this video. Anyway, so yeah, I really like the movie. If you see my Godzilla video I recorded with Jeremy, I was like, I really like science, and this movie's all about science, so I liked that. But it didn't go as deep into like the sciencey aspect as I would hope. But luckily, now it's got a TV show, so I hope that the TV show will dig even deeper into it. Like, I heard that in, like, one of, like, the Channel Frederator's one of, like, facts videos on the TV show that like the creators had to do their own science research in order to make the show, so hopefully that means it will go even deeper into science, and I like that stuff. Anyway, Disney Animation Studios. Let's look at them on Wikipedia. List of their films. No. According to Wikipedia, it this is the same studio that made Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs back in 1937. I somehow doubt that. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just say this is my favorite Disney movie that's released since, like, I'm going to say Toy Story 3, maybe? I don't know. I haven't seen, like, Coco yet, and people seem to really like that one. But with Zootopia and, like, Inside Out, people were like, oh man, this is the best Disney movies ever. These are the best Disney movies ever. And I watched them, and I didn't like them very much. But Big Hero 6, this one's great. Going to go back to the list of Disney movies. But yeah, I haven't done very much research yet into I'll save this part for later. Anyway, let's go back to talking about the movie. The characters. Obviously, Baymax is great. Hilo, or however it's pronounced. Again, in one of Channel Frederator's videos, they say only Honey Lemon pronounces his name right, the main protagonist. I guess it's supposed to be pronounced Hero, but everybody just says it's Hero. I don't know. I'm not Japanese. So yeah, I like Baymax, I like Hilo. I think her name is like Go to Mango or something like that. She's great. He's okay. Usabi. I like Fred, and she's alright. Yeah, I just don't know what to say about Big Hero 6. Like, critically, and the majority of Disney's audience seem to really like this movie, but I've heard some people just say that either the movie's just flat out terrible, or like it just didn't really do very well for them, and they think it would have been better as a TV show, so now it's getting its TV show, so that's probably a good thing. But the people that hate the movie, I just don't get you. Like, this is not, I'm not saying this is the best, like, animated superhero movie ever. Of course not. There's a ton of Batman movies better than it. The Incredibles is probably the best Disney animated superhero movie. But yeah, this movie's just pretty good. Like, yeah, just, it was good. As for it getting a sequel, like, I'm kind of glad that they chose to go the TV show route instead, because, like it just, leaves open so many more opportunities and stuff to expand the world and stuff. Like, apparently, the city in the movie was so big, it took the longest time out of any 3D animated Disney movie to render. So, it's probably a good thing that they decided to go with a TV show with 2D animation, just so they wouldn't spend all that time rendering so long. And like with the movie, you can't explore that entire city, really, without just using it as scenes for Baymax to fly around in. But with the TV show, you can, like, explore every nook and cranny everywhere. So, yeah, that's just one out of many reasons why it's a good idea for them to go with the TV show approach. And, like, I've done a little bit of research onto the characters in the comics, and they seem to be quite a bit different from their movie counterparts. Just to make it more grounded in reality, because the movie was going for a really science angle, so like they were trying to ground the characters a bit more, obviously make Baymax more lovable in general. Like in the comics, he was just a normal battle robot, but he also had the ability to turn into a dragon. And this movie's just a big marshmallow hugger. I don't know, but I think it'd be a really cool idea over the course of the TV show for them to continue upgrading Baymax more and more, and then maybe at one point they would do an episode where they give him his dragon form from the comics, and it'd be uncontrollable, so they could make an episode around that. I don't know. Just do whatever. there's so many more opportunities with the TV show in general than with the movie, which is why I'm more of a television guy in general, just because movies are a lot more limiting to what you can do. And it's a lot harder to make a good film than a good show in general. Just with film, there's a lot more of a high standard. And I also want to say, with the TV show, I watched it. Like, I didn't watch it when it first premiered on TV. I could have, but I just chose not to because I wasn't feeling it. But now I'm feeling it. So I rewatched both. I both rewatched the movie and watched the first episode of the show back to back, pretty much. Like, I waited an hour before I watched the show, but it's basically I basically just did watch them back to back, and it was I think they chose a pretty good way to introduce the first episode. They introduced a couple of new characters. They introduced what the new villain for the show will be, and it just kind of like the first episode takes place in between the end of the movie and whenever Hugo found Baymax's chip and started rebuilding him. So it's the story of them bringing back Baymax. The episode's titled Baymax Returns. So things that are disappointing about the TV show. In general, they got the majority of the cast, including the voices of the two main characters from the movie, to come back in the show. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. They even brought back the voice of Takashi, I think Hugo's brother's name was. They even brought him back just to do a flashback scene, and he died in the movie. They didn't have to bring that character back at all. But not only they brought back the character, but they brought back the actor too to play him, which was good. That was a good decision. I wonder if they'll be like using him in flashbacks for further in future episodes. That'd be neat. And yeah, the show was just good. It's one of the better superhero shows to come out of recent years, because lately, ever since DC Nation ended, really, superhero shows have been going downward. With Cartoon Network, after when they got their hands on Teen Titans Go, now it's like they want to just make every superhero show a superhero comedy, which the movie was a comedy, and it also had a lot of heart and action and drama in it. It was just a good balance of everything. The movie's great. So, it looks like they're trying to bring back that balance for the show, which is good. The show even got more mature than I thought it would with some scenes. Whenever they were, I was surprised. I was kind of hoping before I started watching the show that they would bring back Yama from the beginning of the movie, who was the guy who Hugo fought in the robot fight at the beginning of the movie. I was hoping they would bring him back, and the way they brought him back was like, oh wow! They literally were talking about this is real life. There isn't any super villains, and then it cuts to him almost murdering somebody on the top of the building, Batman style, by just holding his leg over the edge of the building, go and drop him. And it's like, oh, I did not expect to see that in this show. That was a surprise. And yeah, this first episode is just really promising. The things I didn't like about it were just, I was going on about how surprising they brought back a lot of the cast from the movie, but there was, only two characters that didn't get their original voices back, which is Fred and Wasabi. And, Fred is a huge disappointment, because I really like T.J. Miller. He was in Gravity Falls, and he was great, so that made me like T.J. Miller. and it's sad that he didn't came back to replace the character. But yeah, they got a decent replacement for him. But Wasabi, they got the voice of Cyborg from Teen Titans to reprise the character, or not to voice the character in the new show. And like, I love Teen Titans, and I love that voice actor, so I'd say it's an improvement for Wasabi. But yeah, it's disappointing that T.J. Miller didn't came back to voice Fred. But yeah, other than that, it was just good. Also, like, whenever they would show scenes from the movie and they would just awkwardly redo it, it was just felt weird. Like, whenever Hiro at the beginning found Baymax's chip inside of his hand, there's no reason why they couldn't have just simply reused the audio from the movie at that scene. And then, like, later on, whenever he rebuilt the body and, like, Baymax's body was back and stuff, that scene just felt like, it just felt completely different. Like, if this is trying to be a direct sequel to the movie, then, like, I don't want to nitpick, but it just felt weird watching the movie and then watching the show, and then, like, kind of screwing up those scenes a little bit. And then the ending scene, whenever, like, they were posing and they were jumping off buildings, that was probably the best scene from the movie that they faithfully recreated. And yeah, and they just added an extra scene, like, after them posing of the new villain, watching it on the security camera. It was so menacing and stuff and scary, and then roll credits. And the final thing that was disappointing is that, like I said at the beginning of the vlog, Man of Action created Big Hero 6, and they got their proper credit in the movie, and then the show, they didn't get credited for the show's credits. They had the show screwed up the credits. Jeez. They screwed it up. So anyway, I like the movie, and I like the first episode of the show. Can't wait until they bring out more stuff, and I'm going to continue watching it. Oh, and I should probably talk about where I want this show to... Well, I already talked a little bit about that. Like, I want to, over the course of the first season, for the characters to evolve a little bit more towards their comic book counterparts. And then, like, for season 2, which has already been confirmed, by the way, it's already been greenlighted for a second season, I would want them to start introducing even more Marvel characters, because, like, off of the little bit of research I did of Big Hero 6 in the comics, they were very closely tied to the X-Men, which which Disney previously did not own the rights to X-Men films whenever they were working on the movie and the first season of the TV show, but now they own the X-Men rights back. So why not to have the X-Men characters who were in the books appear in the second season of the show? Like, it might be a little bit weird seeing Baymax and Wolverine in the same scene, but, like, Silver Samurai, I'm pretty sure, was the main villain of the comics. And, you know, he was an X-Men character, so let's, for the second season, let's just have Silver Samurai be the main villain, and let's see what they'll do from there. And I'm pretty sure, like, Iron Man might have actually had a cameo in the movie. I'm not 100% sure. It'd be very weird also seeing Iron Man and Baymax in the same room, but that'd be cool, I guess. I don't know. And I also heard that this show might do a crossover with the Tangled TV series, which I would absolutely hate that. Please don't do that. Just do Marvel crossovers. That's what I'm sure everybody would want to see. I don't know. Anyways, I guess I've talked enough about this show now, so see you guys tomorrow.